We have a all good. Welcome everyone to our April PTA meeting. We'll give everybody, I don't know, another 30 seconds. We know folks are trickling in. 6 p.m. is always a tough time, but we wanted to make sure we got everyone in and out and full of all of the updates that we have for today. Ooh. All right, so we are officially recording now, and for the sake of time, because we do have school tomorrow, we will go on and get started. So thank you again for joining our PTA meeting. We're approaching the end of the year. It's crazy. This year has flown by, or at least I think so. I don't know how our teachers and administrators feel, but this year is definitely moving and we are approaching the end of the year. So we have our April meeting and then our final meeting next month in May. So thank you for trucking along with us. All right, so for our meeting today, we do have lots of updates. So we want to make sure and share all of these important dates with you guys. We've been pushing them via the Facebook group and Remind, and we'll also push out a cohesive slide at the end of this. But for our first date, for the end of the year, we have our garden cleanup day. It's one of my family's favorite activities to do with BPA. Everyone loves our garden. However, it is in need of some love, some tender love and care. And we are hoping that as many folks come out as possible. And Garden Cleanup Day will be Saturday, the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you have gloves, bring them. But as far as equipment, we're just asking for bodies to come and help pull some weeds and do some cleanup. So you can get your hands dirty while getting ready for or cleaning up for a good cause, as well as socialize with some other BPA families in person. I know everyone is getting used to that, but it's always a way to meet some classmates and make some new friends. So if you have some time available, please come this weekend. Extended our silent auction put on by the fundraising committee was a really big success, and we actually had a couple bidding wars and it was really fun to see, but we do have a few items that are still for sale. So with that, we have extended the silent auction. The same link is live and well, and it will stay open through April 27th at 5 p.m. As you know, those items that you're looking at are some directed drawings from our favorite principal, and those drawings have been signed and laminated, and some of them even come with a copy of the book. All of that is clearly defined with those in the description. So if you haven't had a chance to, please go through and see what's left, and you have until the 27th. All monies raised will be supporting our upcoming Teacher Appreciation Week, and any additional funds will go to the PTA budget for spend on additional items like library books and reading t-shirts for our kiddos. Field day. Everyone's favorite activity will be April 28th and 29th. But this is a call for volunteers. Our younger kiddos, the K through 2, I believe all volunteer spots have been filled, but there were a couple that were still available the last time I checked for our 3rd through 5th graders. So if you have not signed up for volunteering, please click on the link that was pushed from your teachers and Remind. But if you don't have a copy of that link, I think we'll also drop a copy in the chat and on the Facebook group, but you can always reach out to Miss Adia Pam at the school or via email with questions. Field day is going to be very busy, so as many volunteers as we can gather, I'm sure it will be super helpful. As I mentioned earlier, Teacher Appreciation Week, just to put it on your radar, is coming in about 2 weeks. Teacher Appreciation Week is May 2nd through May 6th. That is where every day we want to appreciate all of our teachers, whether it's with a gift or a note or words of encouragement or whatever the case may be. Please do your best to take some time out and acknowledge our teachers. PTA will be putting some things together as well for Teacher Appreciation Week. And if you would like to volunteer or coordinate some efforts, please you can always reach out to like your room parent if your classroom has one, as well as Angie Bryant, PTA Vice President. She is putting together quite the itinerary that we're going to support. So if you'd like to participate with that, please reach out directly to her. But wanted to make sure that everyone knows we have about 2 weeks to get your thoughts and actions together to really show that we love and appreciate all of our teachers. Play date in the park. So I think at our last PTA meeting, we did share that we wanted to have some type of end of year celebration. Typically, we would do like an end of year barbecue or something of that nature in the building. But with our current climate, we thought let's just test the waters and gather outside. And with that, we will be at Brownwood Park Tuesday, May 24th at 4:30. It is literally just a play date. So if you have time available, come out and play with some BPA friends. See some parents and classmates and just hang out and have fun for a little bit. It's the last week of school, so hopefully the weather is nice and homework will be minimal, if at all. So we're really hoping you can break out a little early and come enjoy some weather. So again, that date is May 24th, 4:30 p.m. at Brownwood Park. More detail to come. PTA will be definitely pushing this, and we hope to see as many people there as possible. And finally, award ceremonies. This is always a big deal, and we wanted to make sure that we push these dates and times as much as possible. So you're going to start seeing a lot about upcoming award ceremonies, not just in the Facebook group and Remind, but from your individual teachers as well. Kindergarten and first grade will have an end of year award ceremony on Monday, May 23rd at 12:30 p.m. All right. Second, third, and fourth will have their award ceremony Wednesday, May 25th at 9 a.m. Fifth grade will have their promotion ceremony on Thursday, May 26th at 9 a.m. So again, kindergarten and first, Monday at 12:30, 2, 3, and 4, Wednesday the 25th at 9, and then the fifth grade promotion ceremony Thursday, which is the last day of school, at 9 a.m. So more details to come, but we want to make sure that we know calendars fill up quickly. So please mark the date and time on your calendar. And if you are available, and David will go into more detail, but it will be in the gym. However, each kiddo is limited to 2 attendees only, and that includes children. So just 2 bodies per kiddo. But if you are unable to attend in person, I believe it will also be streamed on Facebook Live. So again, there we go. Yeah, preliminary information. And I know David's section is coming up in like just a second, but please hold those dates. And here we go. David, I will kick it over to you.
Hey, speak of, here I am. Thanks for those updates, and lots of important things beginning to happen now that the end of the year is nearly upon us. We're really happy to be able to bring back some honors and award ceremonies this year, because we haven't had those for the past couple years, at least not in any typical sort of way. So we're thrilled to bring those back. The last week of school this year is a short week. It's a 4-day week. And on Tuesday of that week, we have primary voting. It's Georgia Primary Voting Day. So we're limited to 3 days for our honors and awards ceremonies. So we've doubled up. Kinder and first are together. Second, third, and fourth grade are together, and that's a lot of kids. So we're limiting the number of in-person guests so that we can be in the gym together without violating fire code hazards and that sort of thing. But we're also going to live stream those on the parent group on Facebook Live. So if you have grandparents who would like to tune in, or relatives who are out of town who want to tune in and watch their little ones be recognized for their hard work this year, that would be awesome. Nicole mentioned those dates and times. We will be flooding your inboxes with those dates and times between now and the end of the year. So if you didn't catch it tonight, never fear. There will be lots more opportunities to write those on your calendar. And I think we're sending out a reminder after this meeting as well, just with all those important dates. Lots of things coming up soon. We've also broken our field day into two events, one day for our littles and one day for our bigs. So next Thursday will be field day for K1 and 2. Those slots for volunteering have already filled up for K1 and 2. I think there are a couple more slots available for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders on that Friday. However, if you don't want to volunteer, or if all the volunteer spots were full and you'd still like to join your kiddo, you may do that. That's fine. We ask that you join us up at the fields at Crim at 8:30 on whichever day you're going to support. And
you guys have a whole day of field day?
No, not a full day. It's a half day. It's a half day of field day.
Sorry.
Yeah. We'll come back to school in time for the kiddos to have a sack lunch and then to have a couple hours of afternoon of the day as well. They tend to get pretty worn out and pretty hot after a couple hours have passed. So it's a half day activity for them. And again, we'll continue to flood your inboxes with those dates and times as well. Two other things that aren't necessarily on the agenda tonight that I wanted to mention. Right now, this week, we're having elections for the Go Team members. We have a couple parent slots on the Go Team that are vacant for next year, or those terms are expiring. And we have 3 members of our parent community that are running for those 2 seats. The district has sent out emails to the email addresses that our families have in Infinite Campus. So when you get those emails, I hope you'll take a moment and click through. And I see Joya plugging herself there. Go, Joya. And vote for, I think you get to vote for 2 of those candidates. Our staff is also having elections for their staff member for Go Team next year as well. So this is the week, and I think it's open next week as well. So when you see that email, click through. It's super, super quick, and vote for Go Team members for next year. My final thing that I wanted to mention tonight, the end of the school year means Georgia Milestones testing for grades 3, 4, and 5. Because of COVID, the last couple of years, in 2020, we didn't have Georgia Milestones at all. In 2021, we offered Georgia Milestones, but only about 40 of our students at BPA participated. So I'm actually really excited to have the opportunity for our kids to show what they've learned on Georgia Milestones. I think our kids are remarkably well prepared, especially in light of the craziness we've had the last 2 years. So I'm eager for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders to take the Georgia Milestones beginning May 2nd. Our 3rd and 5th graders take the Georgia Milestones the week of May 2nd, and our 4th graders take it the following week. We wanted to make an opportunity because the children that will take the milestones this spring, most of them haven't ever taken it before, which in some cases means the parents aren't familiar with it either. So Mrs. Hayes and some of our other team members are hosting a Georgia Milestones parent information meeting. So if you're a parent of a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader, jot this down. We'll send it out again, but I want to get it in your brain and on your calendar. We're having a Georgia Milestones parent information session next Tuesday on the 26th at 6 o'clock. We'll have that in the gym at BPA, and we will also live stream that on the Facebook parent group. So if you can't make it in person, you can catch it later by going to the Facebook group. We'd love for you to be there live if you're able to ask any questions that you might have. We never want our children to be nervous about big assessments like the Georgia Milestones. We always just encourage them to do their very best and not to be stressed about it. And we're excited to see how well our students can show what they've learned. And so we'll know what parts of our programming are working really well and where we might have some soft spots. So I'm eager to get those data and to learn from them and to see where we are. That's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David, for those updates. Lots of good stuff happening. My computer will go. Here we go. All right. So of all of the work that I did, I still forgot one date off of this slide. So apologies to the VPA family community, but we will push this summary out to everyone. But as you can see, we have lots of dates, starting with the Rising Kindergarten Visitation Day, all the way to the first day of school on Monday, August 1st. So please keep all of this in mind, take a screenshot, make your notes. We'll also put on, like I said, the Facebook group, and you'll be getting lots of individual reminders coming up. But we have lots of good stuff happening, all for our kiddos. And it's just an exciting time. These last, what do we have, about 6 weeks or so are going to be super busy. So lots of good stuff. All right, our next slide is an update on the PTA budget, and I will kick it over to our treasurer, Austin.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so we've got our budget. All right, so we don't have many updates. We've got, I can hear my echo. Okay, we've got $21,186.93 currently in the account. Everything has been deposited. That was in my Cash App for all of the swag, so everything is now in the account. As far as the only updates we really have for the fundraising is the auction, which at the time of doing this, we had not 600, hold on, I'm losing my spot. $689, $698, excuse me, that we have raised so far from the auction, and it's a little bit more since we opened it right back up. So those are most of the updates that we have, and we're still working on with David on the Pave the Way update as far as what we'll be doing with that money. So that's all I've got.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Austin. And yes, we will have a Pave the Way update within the next week. So stay tuned for that. Okay, PTA board. So as you know, we've been doing a call for nominations and volunteers. So thank you to everyone who has listened at all of our meetings. So for the upcoming school year, actually everyone at the moment is running unopposed. So we are on the, I guess, docket to serve another year. So thank you for putting your trust in the board for another year. As an update, next year, all of the positions will be term limited. So if you are thinking about getting involved on PTA as a board member, please reach out to anyone that you see here on the screen, now or next year, as none of us will be able to be in our same positions for the following school year. So we will definitely have a lot of work to do to prepare for the following school year. But that's a tomorrow problem. Today, we just thank you for entrusting us for another year. With that, however, protocol does, even though we're running unopposed, protocol does, or rules state that we do need to open to the floor for a vote and approval. And so I believe Erin has a poll that she's going to share right now. We have met the quorum according to the participant list for PTA members. So you should see it on your screen. I approve of the Burgess-Peterson Academy PTA board positions for another one-year term as proposed. So if you guys can take a second and vote, that would be appreciated. And Erin, are you able to see the results now? Have we met quorum for the votes?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I didn't realize they weren't sharing with everyone. Yep, we are at 14 yeses, no zeros. Now we're at 15 yeses, which I think
there we go.
15. So
I was going to say we needed the 15. That was the magic numbers.
Any last little votes, and then I will hit end.
Awesome.
I'm going to share the results.
Oh, there they are. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. And your PTA board, just so you can see our faces as everyone's not on camera. We thank you very much for another year. All right. Aaron, I'll kick it over to you for our last update.
Yeah, so I have the great pleasure of introducing our speaker this evening. Nicole, would you mind going to the next slide? Just so we can see Jacob's bio points. So Jacob, if you can't guess by the last name, is related to me by marriage. He is my brother-in-law. So he was kind enough to come and talk to us tonight. He is a counselor certified in the state of Georgia. He's a play therapist. As a family member, that's wonderful because I can pick up the phone and say, hey, how do I talk about this with my kiddo? And he's also a certified OT play therapist. So he works with children, teens, and families, and is a part of the Geek Therapy community, the League of Extraordinary Aldarian, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, play therapists, and serves on lots of committees for the Georgia Association of Play Therapy. He's also a trainer in applied suicide intervention skills training and does lots of trainings all over our region and state. So Jacob, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know Jacob has some remarks and then we're going to open it up for questions, but he is going to talk to you about play therapy and your kiddos.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. It is one of the joys of my job that I get to come out and talk with people about what I do. And you were so close. It's Adlerian, not Aldarian. Close.
I sounded a little too Star Wars, I think. A little too Alderaan here.
We are still here. We have not been blown up. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about just a little bit about the way that I think about kids and how that can impact how you can relate to your kids. One of the principles of my theoretical orientation, which is like the way that we view our clients, is through something called the crucial C's. And a person who is perfectly imbalanced has all the crucial C's kind of gunning for them, and someone who's struggling maybe has a deficit in one or two. And the crucial C's are courage, connect, capable, and count. Kids need to know, kids need to be courageous and try new things. Kids need to know that they can connect with others. Kids need to know that they're capable of taking care of themselves and others. And kids need to know that they count. So like I said, typically when someone comes to see me, that's because they're struggling in one of these areas. Kids are really great observers. I think we all know that. They are phenomenal observers. They see everything, whether you want them to see it or not. They are lousy interpreters. And so when their needs aren't being met in some form or fashion, kids tend to decide it's because they're deficient in one of those four areas. I believe that all behavior has a purpose, and the purpose is trying to meet some need that the kid has. So what we're going to talk about today are some activities. Some of these are things that you can do individual with your kids, and some of them are things that you can do with your whole family. The simple basic ground rule is 10 for 3, which is spend 10 minutes 3 times a week with your kids doing an activity that they pick. That covers a lot of ground. It enhances kids' connection to you. It enhances their connection to others, and that'll boost their connect, capable, count, and courage. So if your kid is struggling with connect, either they have difficulty making friendships or they have trouble holding on to friendships. This is true for kids and adults. There are tons of little simple connection building activities that you can do. Maybe you guys get some lotion and rub it on each other's hands while talking about your day. You can cook dinner together. One of the favorite things that a friend of mine came up with, she made a contest for her family because she's got teenagers. And what's the universal truth about teenagers? At some point, you ask them, how was your day? And they just say it was fine. She got tired of hearing that. So her decision was to turn it into a contest. And I'm going to ask for Aaron to participate with me real quick. Aaron, I had the best day ever because I got to sit on my couch and be around at my house and take care of my paperwork. And I got everything done that I needed to get done today. You tell me why you had the best day ever.
Oh, I had the best day ever because I got big hugs when I picked everybody up from school. And then I got to eat kid food for dinner. We had pigs in a blanket, which I don't like to admit, but I actually find to be very tasty. So, best day ever. And now I'm getting to do a PTA meeting. So I win.
Awesome. And so whether your day was truly amazing or not, the idea is to enhance the competition among everybody, and whoever the family decides had the best day ever gets a special prize. Maybe they get to pick the movie that you guys watch for family night. Maybe they get to pick a special dessert, something like that. Maybe it's just that they have to do one less chore, but it needs to be something that that you can all do together. Board games are great for kids with connection problems. Sorry, Trouble, Chutes and Ladders, Candyland. Has anybody ever heard of Peaceable Kingdom games? I think they're truly amazing. If you have not heard about them, they basically reimagine classic board games. My favorite one is called Gnomes at Night, and it's basically Battleship, but you cooperate to find the treasure on each other's maps. Peaceable Kingdom games, love those. If you're looking for more active games, Mother May I or Simon Says are some great ones. You're enhancing those connections, you're learning communication skills, you're getting each other to pay attention to the words that you say. Mirrors, when you move and the other person has to mirror. Fun fact, if you have a kid with ADHD or autism or something like that, truly do like mirrors. I'm moving my right hand now, so you would need to move your left hand so that it's a true mirror, right? You could sprinkle powder on each other's hands and trace lines on them. And then collaborative storytelling, where I say a sentence and then I pass it off to the next person and they do a sentence. And that one of the keys is to yes and what they're saying. So you don't go back and erase what they did. You just say, all right, and here's another fact or another piece of the story. Things like that, just be silly together. It is okay to be silly with your kids. Sometimes I forget when I'm hanging out with my nieces and nephews that it's okay to be silly, and that's really what they want from me. You just get busy. So for capable, if you're enhancing a kid who needs to feel capable, maybe that kid, you'll notice that they have some self-esteem issues. They like learned helplessness kind of things, where you know that they know how to do something, but they're not taking the chance to do it. Avoid using the word but with them. Wow, you really worked hard and you had success, instead of like, I know you can do better, or you got an 85 on that. What happened? Work on the praise and encouragement rather than actually like praising the outcome. Don't do stuff that they can already do. I'm sure you already know that one. That's just a simple one to make your life easier. Show them that you are capable even when you make mistakes, when you burn dinner, or if you're me, I'm incredibly clumsy. So I will walk into furniture and I'll be like, oops, maybe I'll remember that's there next time. Age appropriate chores. And this one is also hard, especially when you've got a toddler that is starfishing in the middle of the checkout line at Kroger. But allow them to have their feelings so that they can learn how to deal with them. And again, we're encouraging the effort rather than an outcome. Play catch with them. Maybe keep the balloon in the air. Cut out shapes, paper dolls, put notes in their lunchbox. A gratitude journal might be a great thing for a kid like this. A kind activity for a neighbor. Again, cooking together, scaffolding so that they can, learn. Maybe they're not ready to chop up all the vegetables yet, but they can put the cheese in the pot. Another one is a positive thought jar. So you go through and write out some of your favorite things about your kid, have them write down some of their favorite things about themselves. And when they're feeling sad, they can go into the positive thought jar and look at something that someone has said nice about them. So for Count, this is again a kid that doesn't believe that they have a place in the world. They struggling with self-esteem, withdrawn. You want to interact with them without distraction. Just put your phone down, do that 10-minute activity. You're active listening, reflecting what you heard them say already. Give hugs, read to them. Be excited and delighted when you see them. The simplest one with this is to go on litter walks. I have done this with clients. We go around the school. I work for City Schools of Decatur. And so we'll go around like the campus and pick up litter. Down Glenwood, be very careful, obviously. But yeah, going down Glenwood, tons of litter there. Ask them for solutions to problems and kind of be respectful about what they say. Again, the best day ever works great with this. Make a mural as a family. Have them help figure out what you can do, like get like the big butcher paper and markers, crayons, those kinds of things. Courage activities are, they're really fun. Kids that won't try new things. Sometimes this manifests as perfectionism. You notice anxiety, things like that. Stress the improvement. You stayed up on your bike and yesterday you didn't think that you could do that. You went to school willingly today. Sometimes that's a tough one. When they're trying to avoid new experiences and places, encourage them to try. And if you're able, go with them so that you can give support. Ask them about things that interest them and listen. Avoid doing things for them that they can do themselves. Tying their shoes, things like that. Just give them every opportunity to do it for themselves. A lot of times with this, I tend to focus on what has to be done, not the process, like the end result. We have to go to the car. Do you want to hop or skip your way out there? We have to eat our dinner. Do you want to hum while you're eating, or do you want to, I don't know, draw a design in your mashed potatoes? Those sorts of things. It just focus on what's important about that activity. Blocks, stacking blocks and knocking them down together. Easy one. Roll a ball back and forth on the floor or a table. These are simple little activities, but you're giving them courage to try new things. And when they get tired of it, they will ask you to do something else. Dominoes, make shapes with shaving cream. Super fun. String beads on yarn. Play in the sand. Play with watercolors and finger paints. This is my favorite thing to do with perfectionist kids is have them do watercolors or finger paints, because it is absolutely impossible to be perfect with those things. And they still get to make something fun. Just know that they're probably going to have to wash their hands as soon as they're finished. Another one is making sock puppets and paper bags, paper airplanes. Do you know that I was 41 years old before someone taught me how to make a paper airplane? It was one of my clients and they had the best time getting to be the expert in the thing. And we played paper airplanes for about an hour. Practice the self-soothing techniques that you may know, box breathing, There's an incredible book called Breathe Like a Bear that has all kinds of different shapes. It brings body awareness to kids and helps with the calming activities. I love when kids are feeling anxious or angry, telling them to breathe into the spot where they feel their anger. Some people, it's like their forearms. Some people, it's their stomach. Breathe into that, then breathe into a different place in your body where you don't feel the anger. Now breathe back into the place where you feel the anger. Do you feel a difference? That's a simple way to help kids start noticing the body effects of emotions, which helps name emotions for them. I have seen a couple of things pop up in the chat. Erin, is there anything I need to?
I think it's mostly just comments.
Okay.
Like, yes, love these ideas. I have notes. So not right now. But again, if anyone has questions, we can put them in, or when Jacob's done, we can open it up for questions too. So
one of the ways that I diffuse arguments with my nieces and nephews, not necessarily my clients, because I don't argue with my clients because I do whatever they want to do. But arguments with my nieces and nephews is I have to figure out what kind of narcissist they are. Because kids are narcissists in the classical sense, right? They don't have theory of the mind where they can recognize that other people feel different emotions or have different thoughts. But so you find out whether kids need to hear that you, like me, the adult, was wrong, or that they, the kid, was right. And so when I figure that piece out, I can say, you know what, you were right. Dr. J was better than, oh my God, I'm betraying my age here, was better than Larry Bird. And also, you need to empty the dishwasher, right? They've heard that they were right about something. Now they're willing to listen to whatever thing it is that you need to tell them. What else? Someone asked me a question.
yeah, I'll invite to do, if you'd like to drop questions in the comments, or if you want to unmute and ask questions, go for it. So I'll ask one, Jacob,
Yes.
while we wait for other folks. One of the things that you typed out and when you were doing a description for this session was getting your kids to eat broccoli.
Yes.
So, or getting to try new things food-wise. What are your suggestions there if we have a picky eater in the family?
Yes. So picky eaters I want to say this at the beginning, is it can be a food sensory issue. Some kids don't like the texture of certain foods. Like for me, it's mushrooms. I'm 40. How old am I? I'm 42. And I hate mushrooms. My husband hates that. But it's a texture thing for me. I won't eat them. So there is that. But if you've got a kid who is just choosing not to eat food, a particular food, turn it into a game. The airplane thing works for a reason, right? One, you've delighted them. Maybe they're laughing as a baby when you do the airplane thing, and so their mouth goes wide open. You've made it playful. That's the biggest thing that I work with parents on, is figure out what it is that needs to happen and turn it into a game. If you want them to eat their broccoli, then maybe you make believe that they are the Jolly Green Giant, and the Jolly Green Giant has to eat that tree. He has to eat that tree in order to survive. He is trying to build a house for his family, right? Make it a game, make it playful in some form or fashion. If your kid doesn't respond to that, some kids are not metaphor kids. They don't want to, they don't engage in make-believe play very easily. Then there's a competition, right? It's not necessarily bribing the kid. If you eat this, then you get a sticker, you get a toy, or you get a prize, or whatever. Turn it into a competition. and let them beat you. That's one of the easiest ways I've found to get people to do those sorts of things.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, any questions, folks? Comments or things that have worked for you?
I just wanted to say thank you. These were a lot of good tips for, I know just personally, I like the 10 minutes a day, 3 times a week deal, because you can get so bogged down in the day to day, especially with work and all that, a little bit of mom guilt definitely creeps in there sometimes. So 10 minutes, 3 times a week sounds super doable. So I like the framing of that.
Sure. And there are a host of different opinions about video games, but video games are kind of one of the ways that kids connect right now. And so I think that it's not a bad thing for if your kid is playing a video game to sit down and watch them play the video game. Ask them to teach you how to play the video game. And don't be afraid to fail. I'm terrible at Fortnite, but I still play Fortnite with my clients.
Oh, we also are Fortnite and Minecraft house here. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for joining us today. We don't want to keep you too much longer, but folks, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, or as we end today, also feel free to reach out to any of the PTA board members, and we can reach out to Jacob and connect individually. But thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We super appreciate it. As you know, we all need tips and tricks out here in this world of ours. So thank you.
Happy to.
Awesome. Well, that does bring us to the end of our PTA meeting today. Thank you guys for paying attention and voting and listening and chiming in. We'll be sure to push all pertinent information out online as always, but thank you so much for joining us and enjoy your evening.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
all.
It's good to see you all. Thank you, Jacob. Bye.
Thanks.